Welcome to our discussion on economic reforms in India since 1991. Earlier, you have learned about the first process of reforms, which is liberalization, the second part, privatization, and today we'll learn about the third and the final process in economic reforms, that is globalization. So you learn about the meaning of globalization and also the meaning of outsourcing, which is one of the benefits of globalization. So what is globalization? Globalization means integration of the economy of the country with the world economy. Integration of the of one's economy with the rest of the world. So if we talk about India, we remember that in India we had policies which were restricted, policies on industries, on investment, and so on and so forth. When we talk about globalization, we talk about trade especially. So we also had restricted trade policies in India. And so if we were to adopt globalization, we have to change those policies. And that's what we did in 1991. So, what we did was to change from restriction to openness. Remember, we had policies restricted on imports when we buy things, on exports when we sell things outside, investment and all those. So that's why by now we want globalization. We have to forego all those and open up our economy so that we can welcome, and thus there is a free flow of goods from our country with the rest of the world, or from the rest of the world to our country. So to be able to make globalization a reality, it involves creation of networks and activities transcending economic, social, and geographical boundaries. So you have to think of the whole world as one economy. There is no more boundaries. You can have free pass, free flow of goods from one country to another, irrespective of whether you talk about economic activities, social setup, or geographical boundaries. So that's about globalization. So globalization attempts to establish vital links in such a way that what's happening in India can be influenced by events happening miles away. So there's a connection now. Whatever happens in India, it will affect the rest of the world. Whatever policies any country in the rest of the world can have an effect on India. Any policy of America has effect on India because of globalization, because we open up our economy. So globalization turns the world into one whole, or creating a borderless world. No more that physical border. Not it's there, but you talk about the free flow of goods and services and labor and investment now. It's like no more border. You can uh, pass all those. You can um, cross over, not it, without any restriction, bringing goods, selling goods, which was not there before. So that's about globalization. Globalization is integration of the economy of the country with the world's economy. It's turning the world into one whole, or creating a borderless world. So that's the globalization that we as Indian economy adopt in 1991. So one of the benefits that India very much got was the process of outsourcing. This is the outcome of globalization. What do we do in outsourcing? In outsourcing, a company hires regular service from external sources, mostly from other countries. These services used to be provided within the country before. What kind of services? Like legal advice, computer service, advertisements, security, many more, that a country can outsource to other countries. So India is one of the beneficiaries of outsourcing, where Western countries They outsource the service to Indians. So that's why we have many offices nowadays like BPOs, which can help those parent companies that are there in America, in European countries to do the work from here. And that's made possible only due to the growth of vast modes of communication, particularly the growth of information technology, connectivity, you understand. So now that we have, India, vast majority of Indian youths are educated, English speaking, they have skills, they have especially um, software skills, software like the experts. Not that you have so many engineers and people dealing with information technologies. So that helps to make India one of the hub of the outsourcing market. Okay, many of their services such as voice-based business processes or BPO record. Let's see those kind of services that can be um, developed through outsourcing like BPO, report keeping, accountancy, banking services, music recording, film editing, book transcription, clinical device, or even teaching are being outsourced by companies in developed countries to India. Why India? We may ask. Not that we have talked about those one few features like I've told you because of English speaking, because of skills, because of knowledge in IT. So that's why it's become cheaper in India. That's why they look at India. If they do it at home, it'll be that means not cost effective. Okay, so those are the things, some of the examples of outsourcing. Internet text, voice, visual data in respect of these services is digitized and transmitted in real time over continents and national boundaries. See, because of the development of communication and internet connectivity, those can be transferred in real time. That means at the moment, you need not wait. In earlier days, we have to send letters, it takes weeks to reach. Now, you understand the digital system you can transfer at the very instant. The very moment you upload, you transfer it, the recipient can receive, can view all those services, can use the services. So that's the benefits of outsourcing. So most multinational companies, we call them MNCs in short, and even small companies are outsourcing their services to India where they can be availed at cheaper costs. That's why you look at India. You can pay less to Indians. It's not it. Because um, you understand there it's expensive here, even though they pay, it's enough. So for them it's cheap, but for us it's enough. For Indians, that's the payment that we get is enough. So that's why they look at us. And the reasonable degree of skills we talk about and accuracy, we are good at doing those things. So that's why we've become, like I've told you, one of the outsourcing hub of the world. So the low wage rate, availability of skilled manpower has made India a destination of global outsourcing in the post-reform period. So that's about outsourcing, one of the outcome of globalization, which India very much benefits. Okay, so that's about today. So you learn about the meaning of globalization, you know about the meaning of outsourcing, you know about those services, what kind of services you can develop through outsourcing. Okay, so that's about the first part. Next part, when we talk about globalization, we have to talk about the World Trade Organization. We'll deal with that in the next session.